My partner and I traveled to Mexico last week using just our Canadian visas, no extra paperwork, no stress. It might look like a luxury trip, but honestly, it's one of the most affordable getaways you can do if you plan it right. We spent 4 days between Cancun and Tulum, and in this video, I'm gonna share everything we did, plus tips and stuff I wish I knew before going. Tip number 1. We booked our hotel through Costco Travel. It was cheaper than other sites and came with a $139 digital Costco card and a free airport pickup. When you land in Cancun, just head outside, walk a few minutes until you see the Costco Travel sign, and after a short wait, a shared ride will pick you up. Super easy, and it saved us money right from the start. By the way, I'm Nick, a grad student in Montreal, and on this channel, I talk about life in Canada, studying and occasionally traveling when I get the chance. So if that sounds like something you're into, feel free to subscribe and stick around. Now let's talk about where we stayed, the Kempinski Hotel Cancun. We skipped the all-inclusive resorts and went for this hotel instead, and honestly, we were so glad we did. When we arrived, they welcomed us with a special detox juice, which was such a nice touch. The room was super clean, the view was gorgeous, and the staff were honestly the kindest. Tip number 2. If you're traveling for the activities like we were, don't waste money on all-inclusive packages. You'll barely be at the hotel, and this one had everything we needed. And yes, breakfast was included, and it was seriously next level. There was a huge variety of fresh options, from tropical food to warm pastries, and the best part, a chef making fresh tacos right in front of you. Honestly, it felt like a mini food festival every morning. Here is something I really loved. On Friday mornings, they offer a free oceanfront yoga session at sunrise. It was peaceful, relaxing, and one of the highlights of the trip. Also, the hotel had a really nice gym, totally free, with an amazing ocean view. The hotel also has 2 restaurants. We tried the outdoor one, and the Mexican food was so good, fresh, flavorful, and perfect after a long day of exploring. When it comes to exploring, on the first day, we decided to keep things light and just explore the area a bit. So we headed to Cancun Aquarium. It's a small, family-friendly spot inside a shopping center, and while it's not a must-see for everyone, it was a chill way to ease into the trip. The general admission costs around $20 and includes access to over 114 marine species, including fish tanks, touch pools, and even axolotls. But in my opinion, if you're short on time or traveling on a tight budget, you're not really missing much by skipping this one. Mark my words. What I would suggest instead, definitely grab some ice cream while strolling around. It's the perfect way to cool off in the heat. Now tip for getting around. In short distances like this, we use public buses. It only costs 50 cents. They're super cheap, safe, and run pretty frequently. But for longer trips, like to the parks or Tulum, we booked shared vans in advance. They were much cheaper than Uber or hotel transport and way more convenient. In the next 2 days, we spent the whole day in Xcaret and Xplor and tried most of the activities, so if you're wondering which one's more worth it, make sure to watch till the end. Tip number 4. Don't forget that even with the Xcaret Plus admission, water activities like snorkeling aren't included, so you'll need to buy separate tickets for those. Also, if you're planning to visit both Xcaret and Xplor, book them together online. You can save quite a bit with the combo deal. I'll leave the link in the description. So after changing at the lockers and putting on our life vests, our first activity was floating through a jungle river that winds through caves and lush scenery. It eventually led us to the beach area where all the restaurants and water activities are located. Tip number 5. All the water activities like snorkeling had a fixed timing, and if you're late, you'll miss it with no refund. So plan at least 1 hour and a half to get ready and swim over, especially with the crowd. We missed our first snorkeling slot at 2 p.m. because the river scene took longer than we expected, but luckily the staff were nice and gave us a new time at around 3 p.m. And while we waited, we went to the buffet near the beach. There was a lot of seafood, tacos, cold drinks, and desserts. It was a great way to recharge before getting back to the activities. So finally, we took a boat to the snorkeling area, and it ended up being one of the best parts of the day because we got the chance to fed fish underwater and even saw a baby shark and a stingray for the first time, which was amazing. After a long day of adventure, it was finally time for the evening show. We headed to the venue early to get good seats and waited about 30 minutes. Before the show started, they handed out candles for everyone to light. It created such a warm and magical vibe, and the show itself was incredible. Full of music, dancing, and storytelling. We honestly enjoyed every second of it. On day 3, we spent the whole day at Xplor Park, and it was non-stop adventure from start to finish. After entering the park, we walked through a cave for about 7 minutes to reach the lockers area. Here is tip number 6 for Xplor Park. At the entrance, they'll check your sunscreen, and if it contains certain chemicals, they'll hold it and give you a small eco-friendly one instead, one per person, so don't forget to apply it before starting the activities. And tip number 7, for starting your activities, don't forget to wear your water shoes. You will be walking a lot and going in and out of water all the day, so they're definitely necessary. Inside the park, you have unlimited access to 2 snack buffets with plenty of coffee, fresh food, and smoothies. So make sure to stop by between activities to refuel and stay hydrated as much as possible. And don't worry if you see iguanas around, they are definitely harmless. Our first activity was ziplining with 4 different stops, flying over the jungle and water. It took about an hour and was such a fun way to kick things off. Then came the river swim. We chose the shorter route, about 10 minutes, and it ended up with a little surprise waterfall. This one was actually my favorite, so refreshing and fun. After that, it was time for a water slide, but unfortunately cameras aren't allowed here, so they gave us a temporary locker just for that part, and it was so fun, fast, and full of laughs. And finally, driving through the jungle in these old off-road vehicles, it felt wild and gave us a serious adrenaline rush. At the end of the day, we had lunch at the main restaurant. The food at Xplor and Xcaret was pretty similar, lots of variety, big buffets, and plenty of options. But my final tip for these 2 parks, if I had to choose between them, I'd definitely go with Xplor. It offers way more activities and overall it's a better value for the price. Day 4 and Tulum excursion. We headed to Tulum right after breakfast around 8:30, but the ride took nearly 3 hours, and by the time we arrived, it was already scorching. Tulum is home to one of the last cities built by the ancient Mayans, and the ruins sit right on a cliff overlooking the ocean. The views are incredible, and the site itself is full of history. But don't underestimate the sun. Bring water, a hat, and a lot of sunscreen. You'll need it. After soaking up all the history, we headed to Casa Turgo cenotes, the perfect way to cool off. We booked the guided tour, which gave us access to 4 cenotes, 2 open air and 2 inside caves. Without the tour, you can only visit 2, so it's totally worth it. The water was crystal clear and refreshingly cold in the best way. We swam, floated, and even dove into the cenotes. It was the perfect break from the heat. It honestly felt like one of the closest experiences with wild nature. Let me leave you with one last tip. Lockers and food aren't included in the cenote ticket, so bring cash for extras and leave time for a quick snack after all the swimming. Thanks for coming along on our trip. I hope it gave you some ideas and inspiration for your own getaway. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed it.